Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Nerd Soup. I am Beau Oliver, joined here today by Aaron, the Nerd Soup Monkey, and we are back to review Attack on Titan Season 4, Brave Volunteers. What I've appreciated about Season 4 so far is getting these different perspectives over these last 4 years, and even going beyond that, but, focusing on Reiner and the warrior candidates and how their defeat has affected Marley. And now we get to see the side of Paradise Island going 3 years back, focusing on them intercepting this Marleyan warship that was sent to secure Paradise Island, and getting the introduction from Hanji. It's just perfect. I mean, the comedy, the curiosity when she's sitting down and examining their weapons, it was great to see their perspective over these last 3 years and also get some important insight here.
Yeah, I mean, I've just caught up. It took me like 2 weeks to catch up.
Right, that is true. Welcome aboard.
Yeah, and
Beau and Aaron back reviewing an epic dark fantasy final season. Hopefully it goes better than last time.
Ooh, yeah. I think we all hope that.
Just keep yourself off the comments. These fans are also very passionate.
I know. I'll try not to make too many mistakes.
Right.
But one thing I do know is Hanji's been one of my favorite characters while I was doing this binge, and she was just fantastic in this episode. Her reactions to learning about all these new technologies, the planes and all
Levi gives her the nuts.
Planes, trains, and automobiles. All these things. It was something childlike, but it was just so right for that character, and it was fun to watch.
It's very wholesome because at the end of the day, her love is science, and it was the same reaction she had with the Titans, where she always tried to see the humanity in them, treating them as living creatures. And it's the same thing with this technology. Levi gives her the nudge. She's like, "Don't show them that we're weak." It was great, and her playing, it's a friendly face, but Hanji gets down and dirty when she tells him, "Oh, you're going to threaten us? Look at the Titan standing behind you."
Yeah.
And Aaron was looking like a badass in that scene. Yeah, that was a great introduction. And it's not only, the weapons, what's happening with Marley, how Marley's kind of being attacked from all sides because of their defeat at the hands of Levi and the Scouts, but it's also opening the eyes of these individuals who have been closed in, who have been living behind the walls, that you realize they don't really have religion. They don't really have a concept of God besides that weird wall cult, which I guess you would worship the walls. Look at how they're protecting them now with what we know about the Titans. But also when Sasha says to Anyankapone, "Why is your skin darker?" And I thought his response was a very a wholesome explanation of diversity and belief in God, saying that we all kind of have a purpose here, that God created us so that we can be diverse, that we can all be different, but still one and the same. And I think that's one of the main themes that Attack on Titan has hammered home throughout these 4 seasons, is that everyone's kind of the same. And if you don't have those different perspectives, you can become lost and draw lines, and that's how you have enemies. The writing in this episode, especially that scene, I thought was really great and very powerful.
Yeah, definitely. And this season, obviously, one of the bigger things they did is switch perspective and give some insight on some of the other characters who would have been perceived as enemies if you didn't get that look inside. And I think they did a great job of kind of further developing that in this episode, and kind of just muddles everything. It's like, well, you're still rooting for these characters because you spent all this time with them, but you can... it's hard not to feel for Armin when he is a nuclear bomb, like when he goes into the Colossal Titan and kills innocent people. And he's somebody that you see in this episode that he's I don't know if he's trying to justify it for his own sake, or if he truly believes what he's telling Annie. And
it's similar to Reiner when he said that you just need someone to judge you.
Yeah.
That's kind of what he's doing with Annie here, because Annie is someone who can, like Reiner and Aaron, it's someone who can relate to those experiences. And this is also the first time that we've seen Annie since season 2, I think. And it looks like she's aged. And like I mentioned on a previous review, this is Chekhov's gun, She's going to break out of there, you would think, eventually. Whether if who knows what side she's going to be on. Someone commented on our previous review that they're drawing a lot of parallels between World War II. And you said, Armin is essentially a nuclear weapon. And he talks about how I had no choice to kill all of these innocents.
Well, Marley's basically Nazi Germany.
Right, yeah, exactly. Yeah, this military power, and, you have the so-called good guys trying to justify killing all these civilians, that they have no choice. And you see with the anti-Marley volunteers led by Yelena, and we've seen throughout the season, kind of working undercover for Zeke. The reason why they did this, because they want to restore Eldia, and they also want peace in the world. And Zeke's plan is to use the threat of unleashing all the Titans sleeping in the wall with the combined power of a royal titan and the founding titan. We get Aaron's perspective here that he wanted to rush this plan because he realizes that Zeke only has 3 years to live. And they're kind of weighing the cost of that. And it's funny how Aaron hid this information from Levi because he wanted to protect Astoria. But now that it's been confirmed, he rushes the plan, and they have that perfect transition between him shooting the rifle and Sasha being killed. He's almost sacrificed his own convictions for protecting his friends in order to kind of secure the bigger picture here.
I mean, it's tough as a viewer because you really, I don't know if you like trust Zeke. I don't know if I do.
I don't trust Zeke. I don't trust Yelena.
And the characters too. They don't fully trust them either.
No.
And you see that, and so it's kind of,
even they talk about in this episode, Yelena, that she saw him as a god, and the devotion that he inspires. That we see with Gabby, with Falco, the warrior candidates. But General Pixie says we got to keep him on a tight leash because you just never know what this guy is going to do. And that power of persuasion that he has over people, it's a dangerous thing because you never know what he's got planned, what he's got up his sleeve. The scene between Zeke and Levi was so funny, him bringing him to the forest. It's the perfect place for Levi to fight against Zeke if he did go Beast Titan, trying to escape. He's got all the trees.
that's such a great rivalry.
It is one of the, they've only had a few interactions this season, but the writing between them has just been great.
Levi's fucking pieced them up though.
He did piece him up, man. He really did. I can't wait to pick it up. I mean, what we saw with Aaron in this episode, that he's just so ready to fight. You can imagine the home stretch here is going to be action-packed.
Yeah, but I do like these episodes when they take a step back, right? And I think with Sasha, that was another character that was one of my favorites while I was catching up on this show, and just seeing her back, like, even though it was 3 years ago, it was nice. And
right, yeah. It almost makes what happened in the previous episode even sadder.
Yeah, it does. It does. But I'm happy that she was able to enjoy some quality seafood before it was all said and done.
That food did look good, man. And what they've managed to be able to pack into these episodes, and they've done this throughout the series, a character like Niccolo, the character development where he's forced against his will to cook for the enemy, and then he comes to befriend them. He comes to care about them, to mourn their death, and it's 3 years packed into 23 minutes. Him crying over Sasha's grave, asking them, "What were you doing?" And that hits so much harder because it was a plan that was executed by Aaron without any orders. He was kind of going rogue. And Sasha's father, her family, like father, like daughter, I guess, saying, "Yeah, I'll come eat at your place if it's on the house." It's a very sweet moment and a powerful way to show that peace is possible between these two sides.
And Connie's reaction too, saying, Sasha was like his twin and he lost half himself. It's just seeing the characters react. It's kind of, because when it happened last week, it was very instant and you kind of see their instant reactions, but seeing them reflect on Sasha makes it even worse.
Yeah,
even
and they
sadder.
talk about how dumb it is that she was killed by a kid who snuck into their airship. That's just very random. Very abrupt. It wasn't this epic death. She didn't save anybody. Although Sasha's dad, I saw this on Twitter, it looks like he's raising the girl that Sasha had saved in that village.
Yeah.
You think that Sasha gave her life for nothing, but you see that she didn't.
I don't like Aaron.
Okay. A lot of people would agree with you.
Yeah. I don't hate him, but like, Gabby, the reason why I don't like Gabby is because she reminds me of Aaron so much.
No, yeah, they've done a good job of drawing the parallels.
Yeah.
That obsession that Gabby now has, it's similar to Aaron's obsession for eradicating the Titans.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, I can see why you want to, but, chill out a little.
Yeah, go in the forest with Falco, man. Falco's just like,
I like Falco.
I do, too. He's like, I just want to go home, man.
Yeah.
This is a fucking mess. This is a disaster. But I think what I like about Aaron's arc, unlike the traditional hero in a lot of animes, usually they're imbued with a certain responsibility and they're given power and they don't really know how to use it. They're kind of clumsy and unsure of themselves. And then by the end of the anime, they become the ultimate badass. Aaron has become a badass, but he's lost all of that humanity. He's lost all of that childlike wonder for the world. Even though he was always very passionate and aggressive, there was always just a spark in his eyes when he was fighting. That spark is gone.
Yeah,
those eyes, those are dead eyes.
Yeah.
And you wonder now if in episode 69 and episode 70 we will see more remorse for Sasha's death, because that's the conversation he has with Armin Mikasa, saying that Armin saying we need more time. We need to do this the right way. We need to not live up to the expectations they have for us.
And since this episode was like a flashback for the most part. We still haven't really seen Aaron truly communicate with everybody and see their reactions. Everything was just very, I guess, reactionary and instant when we saw him on the airship. But I'm very interested to see how those conversations go and what they if they continue to try to rationalize it. We've seen Armin try to rationalize it, and I wonder if every character is feeling the same way. Obviously, I expect opposition from Captain Levi and Jean, so I wonder if this really causes a split within these characters going forward.
Yeah, because now we do have we have 3 factions at the moment. And then 4 if you factor in the rest of the world waging war against Marley. You have Paradise Island, you have Marley, you have the anti-Marley volunteers, and you have the rest of the world. Mm-hmm. I'm sure Paradise Island and Zeke are going to have some disagreements moving forward. And like you said, Aaron has become a character that can't be trusted by these guys anymore because they came to his rescue after he decided to attack Willie Tybur during that speech. So you imagine there's going to be more tension, more friction between these characters in these upcoming episodes. And we may see more betrayals, more surprises, more twists. But for this episode,
it's hard speculating because it's like, people already know, and you don't want to.
Yeah, no, I know. It is very difficult.
So it's either you're like, you can't even be like, oh, yeah, it might be right. It's like either you're dead right or dead wrong.
That's why the comments, you got to stay away from them. 1 for spoilers and 2 for being told you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
But that's why we don't read the manga, so you guys get that pleasure. Say, hey, you can look back on our fucking horrific predictions.
I just want to see a Super Titan.
We may see a Super Titan, man. That looks like it's like Aaron's goal is just to eat all the Titans. Yeah. Become Titan God.
To see if he eats them all, let's just say, is like the colossal Titan size, with a big jaw, and you can just move like the other Titans?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think he gets their power because it was Ymir at one point had all of them, right? And then it spread out to her ancestors.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe Ymir was just one ugly motherfucker. Yeah. But that is interesting that they have this kind of deterrent. That's Zeke's plan, right? Hold the whole world hostage by saying, I have the royal blood. Aaron's got the founding Titan. We'll unleash chaos on you motherfuckers if you have. But that's the thing. You're not going to hint at the wall collapsing with all those Titans unless it's going to happen. It's not going to be used as a deterrent. You would think that it's going to happen. Like, that wall's coming down.
The wall has to, in some regards. Like, either you win and it no longer becomes necessary, or you use it to win, and that's how you get victory, or you lose and you still need the wall, or they just obliterate it.
Like we said, we could just read the manga. We don't even have to wait, but I said this on My Hero Academia. I already read the subtitles. That's enough reading for me.
Yeah, that's true. But I always feel like scared, like talking about shit I read, because I don't know if I'm saying it right. Because I've been reading it in my head for so long. It's like, I thought he was Captain Levy for...
That's actually very common.
For like 2 seasons.
Yeah. Because I looked it up on Reddit. How do you pronounce it?
Yeah.
And everyone was like, I've been calling him Levy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been saying Attack on Titan. So... But yeah, solid episode. Like you said, it's always good to get these smaller moments, especially when we think that, moving forward, it's going to be so chaotic. So another solid episode for what's turning out to be a really strong season, strong final season. And we will be back next week, possibly with Andres. Hopefully it doesn't snow.
It's kind of weird to not be able to throw on the next episode after watching one. So, and Hulu goes down. What the hell?
Yeah, Hulu, get your shit up, man.
Yeah.
About to go to Crunchyroll. No free ads. Well, would you look at that? It's finally over. Hey guys, Beau Oliver here for one final send-off. Now, before I beg you guys to like and share this video, I'd like to thank our very special Patreon pledgers. We are very proud of the community we've been able to build here at NerdSoup, and it would not have been possible without our Patreon supporters. You guys are the true MVPs of this channel. Everything I've said, you keep the fridge full, you keep the lights on. There aren't enough words to thank you guys, but we'll do it anyway. Thank you. And we have a few videos coming up that have been suggested to us by Patreon pledgers. My Hero Academia, Neon Genesis Evangelion, and Full Metal Alchemist will be reviewed by Marissa, and yours truly, and Castlevania, which will be reviewed by Marissa and Aaron. And if you'd like to consider donating to our Patreon page, you can visit patreon.com/nerdsoup and check out some of the rewards we offer to our listeners. And really, we'd like to thank everyone who takes the time out of their day to watch our videos. Patreon pledger or not, your support is what keeps us motivated to keep giving the world our opinions on movies and TV shows and video games and pop culture, even though no one asked for it. We're still here, we're still yapping, and we hope you continue to join us. I'm Beau Oliver, and I support this message.